Your body is compressed by an ancient frequency that distorts how you express yourself in the world. Every hesitation before you speak, every moment you shrink for no clear reason, every time your strength feels trapped in your stomach, all of that comes from a real vibrational knot, lodged at the center of your solar plexus. This knot is not psychological, it is somatic, and it's quietly growing, shaping your reality without you even noticing. The shame you feel was not born with you. It was inherited from generations who learned to hold back their anger, hide their pain, and fear their own light. There is a specific point in your body where that frequency has crystallized, compressing your presence and sabotaging your ability to act with clarity. That knot is distorting who you really are. But there is a way to untie it. An ancient vibrational ritual that works directly through the body, breaking the cycle of inherited shame and restoring integrity to your presence. When you learn how to find it, feel it, and release it with awareness, something shifts. Your strength is no longer locked away, and you return to being who you were always meant to be. What the Hermetic schools of ancient Egypt called the spiritual stomach is exactly what modern neuroscience identifies as the celiac ganglion, a complex network of nerves that processes emotions viscerally, even before your conscious mind can interpret them. This center doesn't just feel, it decides. When it's free, you act with natural clarity, speak with genuine authority, and take up space without needing to justify yourself. But when a knot of shame settles in that point, your whole expression begins to contract. You start to filter every word, shrink every gesture, and suppress every creative impulse. This knot is not an abstract emotional concept. It is a real physical compression that changes your posture, tightens your diaphragm, and shifts your energetic field into a frequency of suppression. The ancestral shame encoded in this center constantly whispers, "Shrink, stay hidden, you don't deserve it." Research in epigenetics shows that emotional trauma is passed down through generations by altering patterns of gene expression. Your body remembers humiliations that were never yours. It carries the memory of silencing imposed on great-grandparents you never met. But there is a somatic key to this prison, a ritual known to the alchemists as the dissolution of the lunar knot, a technique that uses focused awareness, breath, and intentional touch to break through the compression and release the trapped force. When you master this practice, you don't become someone else. You become who you have always been, before shame taught your body how to hide. In the underground temples of Memphis, initiates were taught that the human body contained 7 centers of power, but only one of them determined the strength of presence in the physical world. This center, located between the heart and the navel, was known as the portal of worthiness, the point where the soul translated its essence into tangible action. The texts of Thoth described specific rituals for moments when this portal closed, creating what they called the knot of lunar containment. This knot was not seen as a personal failure, but as a vibrational inheritance, frequencies of fear and shame passed down from one generation to the next, like invisible seeds planted in the center of the body. The medieval alchemists refined these teachings, developing techniques that combined conscious breathing, targeted pressure, and specific movements to dissolve these energetic compressions. They understood that when the knot was left untouched, a person would live in constant self-minimization, as if an invisible force commanded, "Be smaller, take up less space, shine less." For them, this was the greatest crime against human nature, to waste one's creative force out of fear of triggering envy or rejection. That's why they developed what they called release keys, precise gestures that communicated directly with the body's nerve centers, signaling safety to the system and allowing the trapped energy to circulate again. These techniques were not symbolic. They were anatomical, and they worked because they addressed the physical root of the compression. Stephen Porges revolutionized our understanding of the nervous system by mapping how the dorsal vagus nerve, when activated by frequencies of shame, induces states of tonic immobility. You remain physically present, but energetically absent. Your diaphragm tightens, your breathing becomes shallow, and your voice loses its strength. Rachel Yehuda, through groundbreaking studies, demonstrated that epigenetic changes caused by trauma can be passed down through generations, confirming that your body may carry emotional memories of ancestors you never met. The celiac ganglion, this complex network of nerves in the solar plexus, connects directly to the limbic system through the splanchnic nerve, creating a network that processes emotions even before your conscious mind is aware of them. When researchers analyze stress responses in laboratory settings, they observe that shame activates specific patterns of muscular contraction in the upper abdomen, exactly where the ancients located the knot of containment. Polyvagal theory explains how this center functions as an alarm system that, once programmed for extreme self-preservation, begins to interpret neutral situations as threats to personal value. Neuroimaging shows that when people report sensations of tightness in the stomach during episodes of shame, there is simultaneous activation of the celiac ganglion and a reduction in activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for conscious decision-making. What the ancient sages once intuited, modern laboratories now confirm. There is a physical point where emotions crystallize, altering not only how you feel, but how you act in the world. The untying ritual is not a relaxation technique. It is a targeted, somatic intervention that communicates directly with the celiac ganglion, signaling to the nervous system that it is safe to release the accumulated compression. First, you need to physically locate where the knot is vibrating in your body. Lie down with your knees bent, allowing your lower back to relax. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen, just below the sternum. Breathe deeply through your nose, directing the air to expand the hand over your abdomen, not the one on your chest. Do this for 5 full breaths, paying attention to where you feel resistance. Somatic shame shows up as a dense, heavy area that seems unwilling to move. You might feel it as a rigid plate, an involuntary contraction, or a painful sense of emptiness. Once you've located this region, place both hands over it and apply gentle but steady pressure. Don't push, simply hold. Breathe directly into that spot, as if trying to soften something that has hardened over time. With each exhale, allow the tension to melt a little more. You may feel old emotions rise up: sadness, anger, fear. Don't suppress them. These are trapped memories that need to move in order to be released. Keep breathing into the point of pressure until you feel something shift, expand, or simply relax. This may take a few minutes or longer, depending on how much emotional material is stored there. The key is to keep your awareness focused, communicating directly with this center through breath and presence. Once you have found and begun to soften the compression, the next step is to reorganize the vibrational pattern of that center through conscious movement. Stay in the same position, but now begin to add a gentle rotation of the torso, as if you were internally massaging the area of the solar plexus. Slowly move to the right, maintaining pressure with your hands over the tense point, then to the left. Notice how the density shifts in texture as you move. Some areas will feel more rigid, others may begin to yield. When you find a particularly resistant spot, pause there and breathe directly into it. Now, introduce sound. Let out a long, deep ah, allowing the vibration to resonate exactly where your hands are placed. The sound doesn't need to be loud, but but it should be felt physically in the core of your body. The frequency of the sound reorganizes the energetic density, breaking down crystallized patterns of containment. Repeat the sound 3 times with each exhale, feeling how the vibration moves deeper with every repetition. You may notice the area begins to pulse, warm up, or simply release more deeply. This is the moment when new neural pathways begin to form, replacing the automatic shrinking response with a natural pattern of expansion. The celiac ganglion is receiving the message that it is safe to take up space, to express strength, to exist without needing to justify yourself. Keep gently moving your torso while keeping your awareness focused on the center, allowing each breath to dissolve another layer of ancestral compression. The final step integrates somatic release with the reconfiguration of your presence in the world. With your hands still placed over the solar plexus, visualize a golden sphere slowly expanding from that center. Don't force the image. Allow it to emerge naturally as you breathe. This sphere represents your uncompressed life force, free to radiate without filters or restraint. With each inhale, feel this light growing, filling your chest first, then your arms, your head, until it envelops your entire body. Once the sensation stabilizes, slowly rise to your feet, keeping the connection with that expanded center. Stand for a few moments, simply inhabiting this new quality of presence. You may notice your posture has naturally shifted. Your shoulders are relaxed, your chest is open, you're breathing deeper. Speak something out loud, any simple phrase, and notice how your voice sounds different. Fuller, more grounded, without the tremble of shame. This is the direct result of the untying. When the knot dissolves, your expression regains its original integrity. Practice this ritual daily for 1 week, always at the same time, creating a new neural pattern that replaces automatic compression with conscious expansion. Each session releases another layer of inherited shame, until your presence becomes naturally magnetic without effort or performance. The body relearns its original design, open, strong, deserving of existing in fullness. When that happens, you no longer need to fight the urge to shrink. The urge simply disappears. Marlowe had built a respectable career in consulting, but every major presentation was preceded by a familiar sensation. Something would tighten at the center of her body, as if an invisible hand was squeezing her stomach. Her voice came out controlled. Her ideas were solid, but something was missing. An intangible quality of presence that made the difference between being heard and being truly listened to. For years, she interpreted it as normal professional anxiety, until she discovered that her paternal grandmother had spent decades silencing her opinions during family gatherings, fearing confrontations that never actually happened. Her great-grandmother, in turn, had grown up in a time when women who spoke with conviction were seen as improper. When Marlowe understood that she was carrying in her body the ancestral shame of these women who had learned to hold back, something shifted. She began practicing the untying ritual every morning, directing her awareness to the exact spot where she felt the compression. In the first week, she noticed she could breathe more deeply during presentations. In the second, her voice developed a different quality, not louder or forced, but simply more present. A month later, in a decisive meeting with senior executives, she felt for the first time what it meant to speak from an uncompressed center. Her words carried natural weight, her gestures flowed effortlessly. Her presence filled the room without asking for permission. The proposal was unanimously approved. More important than the professional outcome was the visceral discovery that she could exist without carrying the inherited fear of being too much, of shining too brightly, of being rejected for being exactly who she was. The greatest obstacle you will face is not technical. It is the unconscious fear of triggering rejection when you express yourself fully. Your nervous system has been programmed to interpret visibility as danger, brilliance as threat, authenticity as a risk of abandonment. When you begin the untying ritual, it's likely that a subtle resistance will arise, an inner voice whispering that it's safer to stay. Small, hidden, invisible. That resistance is not yours. It is the echo of generations who survived by staying out of sight. To transmute it, remember that the ritual creates safety within your own nervous system. Each session sends a message to the celiac ganglion. It is safe to take up space. Authentic expression does not lead to rejection. Your natural strength does not need to be contained. When resistance shows up, breathe directly into it and acknowledge, "This is ancestral shame trying to protect me from a danger that no longer exists." Continue the process with gentleness, knowing that every moment of practice unravels decades of limiting programming. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to release your truth, even when your body still remembers old fears. The shame you carry in your body is not your identity. It is simply an inherited frequency that can be transmuted. For years, you lived as if it were normal to hesitate, to shrink, to filter your truth before speaking it. But what's truly natural is the child who speaks without overthinking, who takes up space without asking for permission, who exists without explaining. That child still lives inside you, only compressed beneath layers of shame that didn't come from your own experience, but from the experience of those who came before you. When you untie the knot in your solar plexus, you're not just releasing muscular tension. You are breaking vibrational chains that connect you to generations of silence, of containment, of fear of being rejected for shining too brightly. The ritual you've learned is more than a technique. It is an act of ancestral rebellion against everything that taught your body to hide. Rumi once wrote, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life?" Your wings are your authentic presence, your natural force of expression, your innate ability to move through the world without apologizing for existing. They were only compressed by a knot, and now you know how to release it. Each time you practice this ritual, you are not just healing yourself, you are healing the entire lineage, breaking the transmission of shame for the generations yet to come. You are giving the world back a presence that has been missing. Your presence, whole, uncompressed, free to radiate without filters. This is the gift you offer to the cosmos when you choose to stop hiding, the revelation of who you truly are, when nothing is left holding your light back. If this video resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. It helps us expand this field of ancestral knowledge even further, reaching those who are ready to awaken. I'd love to know how you feel this knot in your solar plexus. Share in the comments. I untie the knot of shame and release my original presence. This affirmation seals your intention to break free from the frequency of shame and reveals who you truly are. Share this video with someone you know who lives compressed, dimming their light out of fear of shining too brightly. This is the 5th episode of the series, The 12 Somatic Knots of Trauma. Explore the other videos to discover where else your body may be holding back your life force. And don't stop here. Click on the screen and dive into more transformative content every knot you untie brings you closer to the vibrational freedom that is your birthright. Remember, every time you exist without shrinking, you are teaching the cosmos a new frequency of courage.